Here we are again, this is Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. Let's remember that we are in our second excerpt on the book of Joel. And if you'll mark your date and where to find this, you'll find it according to the way it's registered in the clip. Now, the day of the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night. What is that day going to be like when the day of the Lord comes about? The Bible says that the day of the Lord is going to be in the days of Noah, like it was in the days of Noah. People were eating, drinking, making merry. They were living together but not married. What is that? Is that not like today? People doing the same? And there'll also be some other things. There'll be men with men and women with women. Do you know that happened before? Do you know in Ecclesiastes it says there is nothing under the sun that hasn't already happened? You know, everything that's going to come about has come about one time before. But God said this time, He said, I'm not going to flood the earth like I did last time. I'm not going to use water. But He's going to use some fire. But before the fire, He's going to use some other things. He's going to use some worms. And Joel tells us about that. And that it's going to be too late. If you wait and say, well, just before I die, I'm going to ask the Lord to save me. Just before I die, I'm going to get right. But I'm going to have the pleasure of this life on this earth with this body the way I am. Then you're going to be under that wrath. But God said, if you will turn from your backsliding, talking to His people now. You say, His people acting like the devil? Yes. His people today are acting like the devil. Many of them who are called by the name of God, who are in denominations. All different denominations. There are some real believers in every single solitary denomination. There are some who are not believers in every denomination. But anyway, let's see. He said He's going to blow in chapter 2 the call to alarm. A call to arms or a call to alarm. He said, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. What He's saying, we are Zion. The Christians today are Zion. And we are to blow the trumpet. We are to sound an alarm in the holy mountain, where today is the holy mountain. We know the pinnacle of the mountain in reverse, or the footstool of the mountain, would be down in Jerusalem. And that's where Jesus is working from. And He's big enough to sit with His feet there and the rest of His body outside. He said, let us, the habitation of the land, tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. The day of the Lord's coming, just as sure as the flood came. Just as sure as Noah worked 120 years building that ark, and even some of those people that helped him build the ark didn't get in it. They stayed outside. It's ironic, and I've seen it before. We've had contractors work. We were building a big church. We had contractors building the church. And if you didn't listen close or see or watch, you'd find out they were not Christian contractors. They were people dying and going to hell, yet building the house of the Lord. Building a house for people to come worship in and die and go to hell themselves. What a shame. It said the day of darkness. It's going to be a day of darkness when Jesus comes. Do you know when Jesus died on the cross, God had to turn His face from the earth for a period of 3 hours. And the Bible said there was darkness on this earth for 3 hours. And the days and the clouds of thickness and darkness as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. There's not going to be a group of people like the group of people that are going to be on the earth on the day of the Lord. There is going to be, for 1,000 years, generations to come after the day of the Lord comes on this earth. But they're not going to be Christian people. They're going to be people living under the rule of the law. There's going to be good morality, but not good spirituality in the sense of the word. It said, a fire defileth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. And the land is as the Garden of Eden before them and behind them, a desolate wilderness, yea, and nothing shall escape them. The Garden of Eden God made for Adam and Eve was turned into desolation because of the devil coming upon the earth and doing what he did. He said, like the noise of chariots and the tops of the mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people sat in battle array. You know, God has come on the scene 2 or 3 times in this Bible, and even after the Bible was written and sealed, the war in Israel in the 67, the war that was there then. Listen, when God comes on the scene and makes those chariots rumble and makes the people hear him, they die of fright. They will run. Do you remember the story of when Elijah went up on that hill? It slipped my mind where it exactly was right now. But he took just a small group of people and they took their pictures and they went up there and they put a candle in them. And they broke the pitcher, broke the candle out. And those people heard the noise and the things and they killed themselves. And listen, God has at other times sent his chariots, opened up the heavens, and they could see what was going on. You see, the appearance of them is the appearance of a horse and a horseman. So shall they run, like the noise of chariots on the tops of the mountains. And see, they're going to appear to them. And they're going to see them in the heaven. And they're going to run. Now, who are we talking about? We're talking about those that are lost folks. But when the day of the Lord comes, those that are following God will be taken out. And those that are left behind will be put into this great darkness and this great time of turmoil on this earth. They shall run to and fro to the cities. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up the houses. They shall enter in at the window like a thief. And the earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble. By the way, this is chapter 2 of the book of Joel. And the sun and the moon shall darken, and the stars shall withdraw their light. And the Lord shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For he is as strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very troubled. And who can abide it? Nobody will be able to stand that day in that day against God. Now he said, therefore, because this day is coming, in verse 12, also now saith the Lord, unto ye, even to me, with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, turn yourself to me. The day of the Lord's coming upon you soon. And when it does, those that are left behind that have not heard the gospel are going to be those that are weeping and mourning and whatever. It is up to you and I to take a host to heaven with us. It's up to you and I to get our tracts out of our pockets and tell people, get your tract out and tell people that Jesus Christ is the way to heaven. You ask him to forgive you of your sin, come into your heart. This says if you died right now, do you know whether you, for sure, you would go to heaven? If you died right now, do you know for sure you would go to heaven? It's very important that we pass this message on. It said that they'll rend your hearts and your garments and turn unto the Lord your God. For he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and a great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. Now, this is for the Christian person that's going to be taken out of here. But we need to pray, and we need to work toward taking many others with us. There is no need for people around us to die and go to hell if we will step up and do our duty. It said, who knoweth if he will return and repent and leave the blessing behind him, and a meat offering and a drink offering unto the Lord your God. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify the feast, call a solemn assembly. Listen, we need to pull together as Christians. If you are watching this, Brother Peter doesn't amount to a hill of beans. I personally don't amount to a hill of beans on this earth except to bring another soul to Christ. Anything else I do is vanity and vexation of spirit. Yet, some of the things I do, working around this house, for instance, getting it prepared, so God could use it. If he desired to use it, he could use it as an assembling place for a great gathering of people who are sanctified out of the congregation and the assembly of the elders that gather the children and the sucklings of the breast, and let the bridegroom go forth to his chamber and hide out of her closet. Bring her out. Come on out. And the bride out of her closet. Listen, verse 16 says that Jesus is going to come on the scene and going to take those people that are his out. We should not be in a closet. We should not be in a closet. We should not be a hidden group of people. We should be well known. We should be known, even persecuted if we speak up the right way. Let the priest and the ministers of the Lord weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people, O Lord, and give not thine heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their God? I guarantee you right now, I will guarantee you right now that our people saying, where is the God of the church? Where is the God of the Christians in the United States of America right now? It's happened to be where I am. When the whole country, from the head, up there, the head in Washington, down, has gone heathen. It's gone after idols, wanting to take in God we trust off the money. They say, that's not true. Well, it is true for those who do entrust in God. And that's a big majority of the United States of America. The electorates, what put in, that was not the general consensus of voters this last time, voted opposite of what we have. But the electoral put in what we have. And that's a problem. Our vote was washed out. They voted right. I guess I'm yawning because the Lord said get off that subject and get back in my book. Sixfold restoration. And over here in Joel, he talks about in chapter 3, the restoration. It said, then will the Lord be jealous for his land and pity his people. Yea, the Lord will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine for us today. That would be food and staples and something to drink and oil and something to cook with. And they'll be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make you a reproach unto the heathen. You know what? The United States of America has been made a reproach unto the heathen. We have been made a reproach unto the heathen. And it's because we have gone heathen ways, and the Christian has not stood up and spoke and allowed the heathen to rage and to go. And that's the problem with the United States of America today, is the Christian has not stood up like he should. I must go. My time has come and gone. We'll see you next time. Been good to be with you. Forgive me for getting off on that wandering cat trail there for a few minutes. And I'll see you next time. Right. Bye-bye. It's Brother Peter with Tidbits from the